get our stuff up here. We are ready to go. Let's see. We are good to go, Brooke. Let's see. Red Ranger says we have communication breakdown. Brooke Snyder says I think yes. No, we're here. Let's see. We are on. We got 3 people on here, and let me see if I can get this off the screen. And we are good. So who else we got on? Let's see. We got Brooke, Red Ranger. We got somebody else on here. I'm not sure who. So what's going on, guys? I think our end is good. Must be at his end. You can't hear me? You guys can't hear me? Nothing? Evening. Let's see. Gavino's on here. Red Ranger says we're ready to go. And here we go. Okay, you guys can hear me good then. Good. All right. We hear you now. Good. Can you hear me now? Let's see. We got 11 people on here. Who else we got going on here? Eddie's on here. Hi, Steve. You're loud and clear. Brooke, yep, loud and clear. Yeah, we had a issue earlier. It must have been the internet or something like that, the world internet. I'm not sure. My sister was telling me the same thing when I was on a phone call with her earlier. So it must have been something going on somewhere. Maybe it's stopped now, hopefully. Cornelia says, hi, Steve. Let's see. Brian Adamson. Hi, Steve. Brian from the UK. Cornelius, where are you from? California? Him Killer Morning Brother. John Wales. How you doing, John? Let's see. Who else we got on here? We got like 19. We got a lot of people on here already. Quick. This is good. Hello from Van Life at home here near in St. Louis. Polycarp. Expedite. You know, we got a van lifer here in the Philippines. I think she uses the moniker on YouTube, Van Life Philippines. I think, I'm not sure. But we do have a van lifer here, and she probably travels around by ferry. I haven't followed her yet. But that's kind of cool, you know, that people in the Philippines are turning to van life. I'm curious where she sleeps because it's not going to be in Walmart parking lots, you know. So, hi from England. Good evening there. Steve-O, how far a drive to a nice beach or resort? A nice beach or resort is probably, it's kind of funny. This is the way it works around here, okay, Brooke? We can get over to Tanza, which is a nice resort, okay? But the beaches there aren't the greatest. People go swimming there, but I wouldn't go swimming there. The real good beaches are down in Batangas, which is probably a couple hours drive. That's where the water gets crystal clear. There's places around here you can go swimming, but some of the beaches just I just wouldn't swim there. You know what I mean? I've gone to a few of them. They're not too good, you know. But yeah, you can go around here. See, Tim Norton, hi Steve, South Boston, Mass. Checking in. There we go. Got a fellow Bostonian on here. Bernard Knowles, hi Bernie from the UK. Smoky Mountain Modeler, good evening, Steve. Big Hungry Bitcoin could really help people in PI. I'm not so sure about that. You know, let me just say this. You guys, I heard a lot of guys complaining today online about inflation in the U.S., and we got the same thing going on here right now. When I went to Kenny Rogers the other day, they had a platter up there. So they make Tex-Mex. It's like a macaroni dish, you know, and it went from $3.99 up to $4.25, which is like about a 6% hike or whatever. So it's a big hike, you know. So that you guys got like a 6.3% inflation rate, I think, because I heard that we're getting a 6.3% raise on Social Security and on VA benefits, things like that. So there's a lot changing all throughout the world. It's not just in the U.S. anymore. You know, let's see, we're up to 36. We got 7 thumbs up. Let's see, John Wales says, Brooke Snyder, not far at all. I live in San Carlos City. We have 20 resorts within a 10-mile radius. We have other resorts too, Brooke. They're not far away. The one I go to is the one in Tanza. It's called Tanza Oasis. You can actually look it up online. It's a beautiful place. The pool's beautiful there. And it's pretty reasonable too. But there's other ones too. You can go over to Tagaytay too. Tagaytay has some nice resorts over there. Some hotels with pools and stuff. So Sinful says, minimizing more house up for sale. Also sent in all my documents for Apostle. That's good. That's good. We got a lot of people going through the SRRV process right now. A ton of them. Let's see. Scott Bartlett. Hi, Steve. Can you talk about Magic Jack app making and receiving phone calls? Yeah, Magic Jack, you know, the Magic Jack app is very easy. It's just like a phone. When you open up your phone, okay, it's simple. It's simple. It's just you open up the app, and it also rings you from if somebody calls you from the United States or wherever in the world, it'll ring you. You can also buy minutes to make international phone calls. But if you're calling back to the U.S. on your phone from anywhere in the world, there's no charges. It's just the membership fee each year, which is like $30. And when you buy it, they give you a free year's membership. So, but it's just an app. I got it on my phone right here. It's very simple to open up. You open up the app and you just make your phone call. It's that simple. Once you got it working, it's really good. In fact, I'm thinking about getting rid of the Magic Jack itself because I really don't need it anymore because I have the app. And the app is way better. Because I can walk around and use data and make phone calls from anywhere or receive phone calls while I'm in the mall or out in a jeepney or whatever. It's good. It works good. Let's see. Ferenc Kiska says, "Hi, Steve from Budapest." There's somebody who's far away. Hungry. Do you know if I will go to the Philippines on a tourist visa and then get married in the Philippines? Can I change locally my tourist visa to another visa? Yes, you can. You can get the marriage visa if you get married. Okay, and then you can stay here. Paul S. XRP will be the key to sending money in the transaction time of 5 seconds. I invested in. You guys are talking about XRP. I invested in something called Cardano, and I just about tripled my money on that. I did pretty good, and I didn't spend a nickel on it. I just watched these videos and stuff on Coinbase, and I managed to work it all the way up to like about $50, and I actually had more money in there. I took out like another 100, and I didn't put that in there either. I got it for free. So I joined that Coinbase app, and I opened it with like $200 and I grew some money in there, and I did some other stuff on there. I made like $1,100 on one thing. But yeah, if you play around with it and you do it right, but it's risky too. You can lose money too. Big Hungry says, yes, VASS big raise this year. Combat vets like myself deserve every penny. You do. You guys do, especially these Afghani people. These guys that were over in Afghanistan and stuff like that, man, I feel bad for them. That was like a swift kick in the butt from the president, But let's see. Steve says, hello, Steve. Steve live from Findlay, Ohio. My fiance lives in Santo Tomas. There we go. James Corlew. Hello, did some checking and found out that when we are ready to move to PI, we can go to the PI consulate in San Fran and get the 13A visa online. One-time deal doing it this way versus getting it once in the PI. That's cool. They're changing a few things. I'm not sure what they're changing. I'm going to have to get on top of it. I heard there's a couple more changes. They're ironing out a few things, but I'm not sure what they are. So I got to look into that a little bit more. Somebody else wrote me about something too. Dickie Spaz says 2-pound package of chicken thighs, $13 in Arizona. Wow, that's crazy. We don't even pay that here. I'm not sure what we pay, but it's not that much. That's crazy. Red Rangers has been going to Cancun, Mexico from Dallas, Texas. About a 2-hour flight from DFW airport to Cancun. Had to blow off Philippines until they end quarantine. I used to go to Belize to blow off steam, because I knew going on trips to the Philippines was just going to be too expensive. So while I was waiting, I'd go to Belize, and I loved it in Belize. John Will says, Smoky Mountain Model, Calvin and I went to a resort for dinner today. It was great. Craig Jordan, greetings from smoky and hazy capital of California. Let's see. Red Ranger says, ribeyes on sale at most grocery stores in North Texas for around $5.99 a pound. That's a good deal. Big Hungry. About the passport card, don't go for it right now. It'll take 6 months and a lot of stress. You can do speed ups on those. You can pay to have it speeded up, but it costs you a little bit. But yeah, if you guys are gonna be sitting around for 6 months anyway, so why pay the extra? Red Ranger says good luck on getting a tourist visa to the Philippines. Yeah, the tourist visa, the 9A visa, the only people that are getting it right now are SRRV people that have already started the process and are in that trial program. So that's about it. Smoky Mountain Modeler, quit rubbing it in, John. Let's see. Amphib Ab, you mentioned North Carolina before. Have you ever checked out the Outer Banks? Yes. I actually watch a show called Outer Banks. It's one of my favorite shows, too. I'm watching the second part of the series right now on Netflix. And I used to live in South Carolina. We used to go up to the Outer Banks once in a while. So I used to I lived in Charleston, South Carolina for 3 years. We used to go up to Myrtle Beach and all those places too. Real old geekster. Hey Steve, love your videos. Hey, are there any expats that are amateur radio operators over there? No, somebody else asked me about that. I know there are people out there that do it, but not many. See, Red Ranger waiting for another walking tour through Ermita area. We will do that. We can't do anything. We probably won't be able to do anything for 2 months. They just said today, 20,000 people a day are getting infected with the COVID here, and it looks like it's getting worse. So that was what I read today. I didn't read any other articles to verify it, but that's what it said in one of the articles that I read today. I'm sure some of you guys that live here probably read that too. Let's see, my sister is on here, Ms. Cavalier. How you doing, Colleen? See, Red Ranger says, message retracted. Leonard Lunn, hi Steve from Houston, Texas. How you doing, Leonard? Let's see. Ms. Cavalier says, love your videos. Thanks, Colleen. Let's see, Daniel Ford, I was under the impression the consulates are not processing 13A. You can only do it in the Philippines. Yes, you can only do it in the Philippines right now. Red Ranger, not seeing distressed property or land relative past just past 35K US dollars for 1 hectare or 2 acres of raw land devout. Let's see, Darren Cooper says, hey Steve, thanks for all your help. Hope to meet up with you soon, bro. Thanks, Darren, appreciate it. Let's see, we got 18 thumbs up and 59 people on here. Let's see here. Who else we got on here? You guys got some more questions, just pop them up here. But I want to get back to touch on that inflation a little bit. You guys are a lot of guys are saying, inflation isn't as bad over here. No, it's about the same as back in the States, I would say. Let's see, Dickie Spaz is 18,000 positive and 315 deaths yesterday. Yeah, they're saying it's going to go up to 20,000 and it's going to peak at about 20,000 per day. So this quarantine thing is not going to go away anytime soon. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. They'll probably start locking us down and not being able to move about except to go to the supermarkets. That's about it. That's what I'm thinking. But if they do that, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess for the economy. Big Hungry says if you go for a passport card, just don't send them your passport. Instead, send them your expired passport book because they may lose it. I never had any I never heard of them ever losing anything, Big Hungry, but it's possible, But James Corlow, do you know if there's any deep sea fishing charters in the PI? Would assume there are some, but have not been successful find them. Something, I've never heard of deep sea fishing charters here. If they did have that, I'd love to go on something like that, but I have never heard of it. Might be worth something Googling, Might be worth Googling, so. Let's see, Eddie says inflation is worldwide. Yeah, it is. I don't think any country's untouched right now because everything's so together now. Everything, one country feeds another country. They send rice to this country and they send, something back or whatever. It just... See, Heidi R says, greetings from California, the land of nuts, fruits, and flakes. I like that one, Heidi. Thanks for that. It was a good laugh. Amphib Ab says, I'm a disabled vet. I'm not a combat veteran, but I also feel like I deserve every penny, too. I was a contractor on military Sea Lift Command vessels hauling explosive and supplies. I think we all feel like, we put in our time. We earn whatever we get. You know what I'm saying there, Amphib? A lot of us put in our time. John Wales, Heidi R. Let's see, Rick DeVries says, good morning, Steve from Alberta. Thinking of going to Thailand until the Philippines open up. Let's see, have you or any of your subscribers been there? What are your thoughts? Yes, Rick, we have people that have been there, and they say that they like it there, the ones that have been there. I'm hearing that you can rent a villa there for about $320 that usually goes for about $650. So yes, there are people. We have a guy on here, Darren. I think he's on here tonight. He goes over there sometimes. He can tell you more than I can. I haven't been up there, but we do have people that go up there. Yes. Daniel Ford, do you want to see what's going on with the pandemic worldwide? Google Worldometer. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that stuff. I've looked at some of that. It's interesting. But the Philippines is going to start peaking again. So it's happening. Let's see. Sinful says, James Corlew, lucky hook fishing out of Cebu. There you go. There's one out of Cebu. I wish it was one out of Manila. Let's see. Big Hungry says, you're right, Steve. Our government travel folks are pretty good. Let's see. Alma Lee says, greetings, Steve and fam. Happy weekend all. Tom Pears here, and he says, Rick DeVries, depends on what you are going for and how long in Thailand. If for 6 months, yes. If for 3 months, no. Okay, so that helps with that. Let's see. Ms. Cavalier gives me the wink. Let's see. Mark says, wow, thanks. Okay. Craig Jordan, idle Philippines firefighters want. Yeah, I heard, man. They got Mexico actually helping the United States to fight fires right now up in both in Canada and in the United States, I believe. So they got Mexican firefighters. So that says something right there, man. You know, that's big. That's actually big, kind of cool news. Big Hungry says, "Hey, Amphib Av, you're right, brother. You did your job." I agree. Amphib Av, Steve, this may sound like a stupid question. What's more nautical to you, Cape Cod, New England, or North Carolina? Oh, wow. No doubt the Philippines to me is the king of the sea. Answer this as best you can. You know, Cape Cod kind of used to have that nautical feel there. I mean, I lived on Cape Cod and Hyannis, Amphib, and, you know, you say New England. I would say New England and North Carolina are pretty much a tie, you know. I mean, I love the Carolinas. I love South Carolina. I love North Carolina. I love Cape Cod, and I love, you know, all of New England. But I would say New England and North Carolina are pretty much tied, you know. I mean, that's about the same size of the coastline probably too. Maybe New England's a little bit bigger, probably a little bit bigger. Scott, does your Forex guy, it's actually, let's see, Scott says, does your Forex guy say US dollar up versus peso? Yes. He's saying 56 to 60, probably 56 by the end of the year, and I'm hearing that in the news a little bit too. So it's starting to come out a little bit. There's more news saying that the peso is going to lose more and the dollar will gain. So us guys will make out a little bit. So let's see. Darren Cooper says Phuket is the way to go. I will be there on 1st of October. Yeah, Darren's on here. RLV. Hi, surf for your American Western grocery. Did you try Rustan's Marketplace, Makati, for your Western foods? You know something? I keep hearing about this place, but I've never ever been in there. And I got gift certificates for this place too. I forget where I got the gift certificates, but I've got gift certificates for that place, and I end up throwing them away because I don't even know where the place is or anything. I got 2 of them now too, which is kind of fun. I think when I joined Pacific Cross, they give me a Rustan's gift certificate, but it's not for much. I don't know how much it is. I ended up throwing them out though. See, Mark Gomez, lurking here, buddy. Gilles Mondo, great info always, Steve, from Montreal, Canada. Looking forward to going to Ilocos in December with Canadian Filipino wife. That's cool. Let's see, John Wells, if you are in Negros Oriental, I will hook you up with some real fishermen. There you go. See, Craig Jordan, Steve, Australia and New Zealand are fighting fires here too. You know what? It's around the world. It's actually up in Russia too. They said Russia's having some fierce wildfires up there too. So that's a worldwide issue. And it's going to go away soon. And that's going to do a job on the air quality throughout the world. I mean, I've seen some of these lake beds drying up. And you got that lake, was it in Arizona? I can't remember both lakes. There's 2 big lakes where they have like houseboats and stuff like that in Arizona. I can't remember the name of them right now. You guys could probably tell me. But both of those are drying up too. I guess they're going to try to see if they can if the feds can send some water there. See, Longlegs says, there's a vlogger called Hey Vern Travels. They just entered Thailand. You need to watch his videos. It was a pain to get in, and a lot of stuff closed down. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I saw the videos. They're all closed down. Even the 7-Elevens and stores. There's homeless people living in the stores there. That's how bad it is. All throughout Thailand, I guess they break the window and they sleep in there overnight, or they ask the owner if they can sleep in there. You know. Eddie says, Steve, what's the going salary for a maid? A living maid's about, I don't know, I would say 100, but it's probably gone up to about 120 per month. You know, if you feed her, you take care of her, but you're also responsible for health care and stuff like that. Just FYI, about 120. Some people pay more. Some people pay a little, you know, 200 or something like that. But yeah, it's about around there. Tom Pearce says, I do a yearly coastal trip all along the North Carolina coast. I like it the best for camping and leisure. Yeah, Carolina's beautiful. All the Carolinas, you know. Let's see, Charles W. Hello from Manila. How you doing, Charles? Welcome aboard. Big Hungry says, hire an agency for apostles unless you are an awesome administrative person. It can be a lot of work. It's not that hard, Big Hungry. I mean, I've helped people through the process and they do it, but some people would rather just pay the money if they don't want to do it. I know in the beginning I was like kind of like overwhelmed by that, and then I was able to do the red ribbon. I was blessed that I could do the red ribbon in the Philippines, and it took me about an hour probably, you know, but I understand the apostle thing. A lot of people think it's much harder than it is. You can go into your local capital and they'll do it for you in there. You just have to look up how to get your state apostles, and then they have the State Department does the other apostles, the federal. But some states will do your DD 214 too, and it's all good. See, RC in Jacksonville, thanks for sharing your insights, Steve. Always watching, listening, as I plan for retirement in 5 years. God bless to you and yours. Thanks, man. Let's see. Yeah, John Wales says, Eddie, about $100 a month plus room and board. That's about right. I think some places are starting to say pay $120 instead, John. That's the word I'm hearing because of the inflation and stuff like that. Eddie, are you speaking of Lake Mead and Arizona? Eddie says, are you speaking of Lake Mead? Yeah, Lake Mead, and there's one other place there too. But yeah, that's one of the places. Tim Norton says Lake Mead, yeah. But I don't know what the other place is. I can't remember the name of it. Amphib Ave. Thanks, Big Hungry. Just wanted to point out that there is an army of military contractors in combat zones, but are overlooked and underappreciated by the public because they think we made more money. Let's see. Yeah, there's a ton of people around, all around the world working right now. I think we got some people around the Philippines too right now, and maybe in the Philippines from what I understand. Michael had to manually reboot a server. Hopefully I didn't miss too much. No, you're all good. Tim Norton, Lake Powell. That's the other one. Yeah. Yeah, that one's in Utah. Okay, so I got it mixed up. All right, yeah. There's Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Both of those are drying out. They're in bad shape. Randy Parker says, missing out on the birth of my grandkids. Grandpigs, it says. We have 39 piglets on the ground. I will miss them growing up. Okay. Michael L., better to clean one's house oneself. A maid can rob you blind. Yes. Yes. And maids can cause a lot of problems for you, some of them. So be really careful what you wish for with a maid here, unless you find somebody that's really good and really professional. You know, older woman is way better than a younger woman in that case. You know, maids are $100 a month in the provinces. Dickie Spaz, France evacuated all their citizens and Afghans who assisted them with their families. Inept Biden said, no way the USA could do this. Going to end very bad current administration has no clue. Yeah, I agree. There's a big problem with what's going on over there in Afghanistan. I mean, the way he ended it was not a good way to end it for sure. RLVs. Sir, please try Rustan's. I'll take a look at it. I'll have to go up there and take a look at it. You know? Sinful says, in Oregon, your documents have to be notarized prior to being sent to being apostled. Yeah, the same I think in Washington State. Most states ask you to get them notarized, but usually they'll notarize them there, or they'll have somebody, or there's somebody nearby the apostling place. They just make sure, you know, whenever you have something like that around, there's usually a place right around the corner that will do it, you know. So Tom Paris says, I borrowed a banca to get around when I was in Cebu. Does anybody know if you have to have a registration for a small 20-foot banca boat? That I'm not sure about. You know, I rent bancas down here, you know. I've got some really good video of stuff like that too. Dickie Spaz says, Lake Powell in Page, Arizona. Zura says, hi, Stephen. How do you deal with this Delta craziness? You know, Zura, it's getting really, really hard. Like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here then, they just said in the news that we're going to start seeing like 20,000 a day. So just FYI. Sinful says, issue with Lake Mead is loss of head pressure for generation of power due to turbine inefficiency. Eddie says, Steve, how far are you from the nearest golf course? I'm probably, I don't know, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, something like that, to Eagle Ridge. It's not that far. It's pretty close, you know. By driving, it's usually the traffic going over. It's about 10, 15 minutes probably. It's pretty quick. If you have your own car, it might be a little bit quicker than that. Big Hungry. Combat vets may not have the patience to deal with more paperwork. Our patience is very limited because of everything we have been through. Most do not understand. No, I understand, man. I understand. That's rough stuff. Lee and Blair say, hi guys, remaids. Better to get someone that your girlfriend or wife knows. Let's see. John Wales, I married a maid. No problem so far. Yeah, there we go. Mark Gomez, how much does your wife cost? Eddie, we got like a joke thing going on here. Let's see here. Kenny B says, hi Steve, have you ever been to La Union? If so, thoughts on the area for retirement? I have not. We have a San Juan La Union vlogger. He's really good too. He talks about that whole area. Let's see. Sinfuls. Eddie says, Eddie, Eagle Ridge is nice. 4 courses in one spot. I have played them all. Yeah, I heard Eagle Ridge is pretty decent. It's actually kind of a really nice place, and it's a good place to live too. Amphib Ave. Let's see. Great answer on your take on the nauticalness regarding Cape Cod, North Carolina comparison. And you said it's a tie. I have to agree with you. Yeah, I think, because I mean, you got Maine. Maine's beautiful. You get it way up by Acadia, man. Acadia is beautiful, you know. They got some beautiful places up there. So, I mean, but yeah, the Carolinas are very nice too. I love the Carolinas. Amphib, watch that show. It's called Outer Banks. Okay, it's on Netflix. It's really, really good. You might enjoy it. Let's see. Who else? Ephraim Dunlap says, being ready for things. How do you handle your expiring debit cards or credit cards? That's very easy. My sister sends them to me, okay? And what you can do is just, you go on to the app for the bank or the credit card, and you just shut off the card while they mail it to you. And it's no problem. And that solves any loss issues. So if it gets lost, you just tell them to send you another one that it got lost. It's easy, you know? But, you know, then have them send it by DHL, put it in a book or something like that, and have them send it, have your family member or whatever send it to you that way. That's the easiest way to do it. So it works out really good. I did a video about that too. Tom Pierce is a gentleman that has lived in PI for many years, told me to hire a maid that works at any small apartel or pension house. That way she will lose both jobs if found to be dishonest. That's actually pretty good. Tina Raphael, Steve, I want to hear from your opinion. Some expats are trolls, envious, hateful, nosy over there. Tina says this, not Tim. Yeah, we do have our share of trolls for sure. You know, I mean, I've had some people undermining me a little bit lately, making phone calls to some of the people that I work with and work with me. And I felt kind of like, you know, that was kind of a smack in the teeth to me a little bit from some people that I trusted. You know, I mean, I let it go. But yeah, then there are some trolls out there that are trying to, I don't know what they're talking about. I've had people say that I was a former janitor, which I was never a janitor. You know, I actually spoke about that in a video today. I worked as a school safety officer for 20 years, and I you know, nothing against janitors, but you know, they were just trying to say that I was like a do-nothing janitor or something like that. They were writing this on somebody else's in the comment sections on, I think it was Raw Facts or something like that. You know, some of these people they got nothing better to do. That's what I say. You know, I just come on here, do my job, and help people. You know, and that's what this channel was started as. You know, just to help people. Originally, I did this on Facebook, was helping people with the SRV. I never charged a nickel. You know, so when people on Facebook want to say something, there's nothing they could say because I was helping them for free. I mean, granted, I put ads on here and it does help me, and you know, I deserve a little bit of something for what I do, I think anyway. But I don't do the Patreon. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't ask people to make donations. Never ask for a nickel. You know, I just tell people, watch my ads. If you want to help me and you enjoy my stuff, you know, I mean, it helps me a little bit. I mean, and it's great, you know. So that's why I don't take all that other stuff, you know. See, Tamarack says, Steve, you're up late. Yes, I am. We're up late every Saturday night. Let's see. Yeah, Amphib. Yeah, Outer Banks. You might like it. It's a story about some kids, but it's about a gold thing. But watch it. You'll like it. Also, if you like, I don't know if you like it. Sons of Anarchy is on Netflix too, and you can get Mayans MC or something like that. I think you can get that on Apple TV if you like Sons of Anarchy. Let's see. John Wales says, Craig Jordan, really? Where did she work? Let's see. John Wales, don't listen to the trolls, Steve. They are nothing. No, I don't. I don't let it bother me. Mark Gomez, just joking about you being a janitor. LOL, please don't take offense, Mark Gomez. No, I don't think it was you, Mark. I think it was somebody else, It was somebody they were writing in the comment section about something, and it was kind of like in a derogatory way, and I just didn't like that. Somebody come back to me and they said that they were talking about me on Raw Facts. I'm like, talking about me? Because I don't even ask for money or donations or anything, nor do I take any. So that's the funny thing. The only thing I do is do ads, and I do that for a reason, because I don't want to fall into that, what they call e-beggars here, because I just don't want to fall into that category. I do everything legal over here. I don't worry about any of their crap, because I do everything that I need to do over here. Let's see. Pacquiao fight predictions. My predictions are Pacquiao. I'll take Pacquiao 100%. Ephraim Dunlap, Steve, how do you deal with the excessive heat and the abject poverty that you see? Well, I talked the other day about the heat a little bit with the baby powder stuff. I mean, that baby powder stuff helps you quite a lot. When I go out, I put baby powder on. It gives me like maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes of being drier than normal and not sweating. The other thing is I usually sit in the front seat of the Jeepney, and that kind of keeps you cool too, because the wind's blowing in there, stuff like that. The poverty is kind of rough. You see a lot of poverty here for sure, and we're starting to see more of it, and we're going to see more soon. They're saying what, 500,000 people are going into deeper poverty in Manila. So because of all the jobs all around, well, not in Manila, but around Manila too. Let's see. Don Murphy says, you were in subs, right? I was in submarines, yes. In the Navy, I was, yes, while I was in the military. Let's see. Tina Raphael, thank you, Steve, for answering my question. Just trolls get to my nerve. You and me both, Tina. You and me both. I've kicked a lot of people off my channel, and you guys question me sometimes about the thumbs downs that I get, because, that's from the trolls that I kicked off. It's not from anything else. It's not from... I might have a few people that might just not like the subject or whatever and gave me a thumbs down, but the majority of those people are people that I kicked off for, just being rude or attacking the host. I mean, if you come onto my channel and you attack the host, I just kick you off. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to put up with that, and I'm sure all the other channels here would do the same thing. Nobody wants to get attacked when you're just helping people. There's no reason for that. So, let's see. Big Hungry says, have 4 bank accounts and have all your passwords on a Word document inside an encrypted email account. Get a Proton account based in Switzerland. Is worth $100 a year. Let's see. Mark Gomez says, it was a joke and it wasn't me. Okay, Mark. I don't think that was you, though. I don't think it was, Let's see. Lazy Larry says, Steve, I believe that any job that is honest should be treated with respect. I agree. Sinful says, Big Hungry, yes, Proton Mail is secure one. I have that. Let's see. Brooke Schneider, there were janitors working at Microsoft in the early days when they started, had to take stock as pay some weeks. They are multi-millionaires now. And it's pretty cool when you think about it, I was never a janitor though, but people keep talking about that janitor thing, and it's just like, okay, enough with the janitor stuff. I worked as a janitor for I think 6 months in a nursing home when I was in my 20s. See, Eddie says, I like the fact that you are a minimalist and living like a local, Steve. You have the perspective on what is really happening in the ground. I think that's why people are turning to your channel. Thanks, Eddie. My channel, believe it or not, we only get about 200 to 250 subscriptions a month right now. We did have a time where it was really going up, but with things slowing down with everything in the Philippines and not being able to get in here, that's definitely slowing down. So it's changing. I'm seeing a change. We're still going up and we're still doing well. I noticed a lot of the regular subscribers A lot of them aren't watching as much because they're waiting for things to change, and some of them are just giving up. And I notice on a lot of I go on Social Blade to check other people to see what they're doing, and they're having the same issue. So it's not just me. So I mean, once things start opening up, we'll have a heck of a lot more to talk about. We've talked about everything, but we try to keep the subjects rolling on here as much as we can, and we do pretty good with the subjects. I get good comments about the subjects because we try to come up with a different subject each day. And I don't watch other channels for subjects. I come up with my own subjects. Lloyd White says, good morning and thanks. Zur, this is the only way to get over it. Let's see. DL says, how long were you in the military? 4 years. 4 years. I was in for 4 years. Let's see. Amphib Av says, I joked about you being a swabby after your video stating you only did it for 6 months. I thought it was funny. Inter-service rivalry humor only. I get it. It wasn't yours. It was somebody else that wrote it somewhere else. Craig Jordan, John Wills never worked at a casino. Michael L. The trolls are just jealous of your peace and success. Some are, yeah. They like to take away your peace for sure. I mean, even last week, we had a few people on here who were trolling, but we kicked them off. Let's see. Well, we didn't kick them off. I think I put them in hold. You can put people on hold for like 300 seconds or something like that in the corner. Tom Pierce says, what is the opinion on having just a simple IDP or PI driver's license? Get the PI driver's license. I got one. It's easy enough to get, Tom. Just use that. It's a great ID, But you can also carry around your passport over here too, your passport ID. That's good too. That's why I tell people to get the passport ID. It's a great ID over here. John Wales says, Craig Jordan, okay, I misunderstood. I thought that Mahjong was a casino game. Oh, well, what do I know? Let's see. Big Hungry says, Steve, you are a goo dude. A goo dude. I don't know, I think he meant cool dude. Mark Gomez, sorry for the excessive testosterone in subs. Any fighting? Yeah, we had fights on subs. Yep, we did. We had one right in the kitchen one time, and it was a pretty bad one because it's such a small spot. 2 guys punching the crap out of each other, for about 10 minutes. Then we finally had to restrain him and stop him. One of the guys almost got his head dipped into the fryer later while it was on, by the way. And that's when we had to stop the fight. But the fryer later in a submarine is really deep, so the guy lucked out, But they were mad at each other. There was, I don't know, can't remember what was going on. That was like 40 years ago, but still, it was pretty bad, Tom Pierce says, I'm hoping to get my passport ID with IDP endorsement if it is available. I'm not sure, Let's see, with IDP, okay. Ephraim Dunlap, Steve, where would you suggest I go first when coming there? I will be there for 30 days. First visit when they open up these borders. If you come in here and first visit, I would say go to Tagaytay, go to Boracay, go to Batangas, maybe go to Palawan if you can, places like that. That's what I would say. This Mindoro's beautiful. Dickie Spaz says, Zur, why keep getting the jab knowing it doesn't work as advertised? Red Ranger, do any non-Filipino citizens who have visited the Philippines for tourism recently since the quarantine started? I don't think there are any. Not for tourism, no. Tamarack, tiny homes are popular now. Yes, they are. Brooke Snyder, I think subs will increase once things open up. I agree, Brooke. I think it'll happen. That's part of the problem there. I'm seeing everybody slowing down right now, all the other vloggers. I watch on Social Blade. Social Blade tells you what they're doing. And I'm a big numbers person, so I kind of watch Social Blade to see what they're doing. I don't watch them too much. I don't like to get that into my head like what they're doing. I like to do my own thing. Let's see, Steve, you are the polar opposite of the web beggars. As it is said that the web beggars are all on tourist visa and you are legal here with SRIV, which gives one more rights than the tourist visa. Yeah, we can work here. That's the difference. They're not supposed to be. But, some do. And, they kind of overlook that because they're vloggers. So they can kind of work here, technically. as a vlogger, which is kind of different. And the fact that some of these guys are on tourist visas might actually make it legal because they're still a tourist, they're still a citizen, and not, if they're registered in the United States, because this if they're paying taxes in the United States, there are tax laws. There's a tax treaty. So I'm not sure how all that plays out, But if you're legal here and you're good and you're registered with the country and everything, then you're all good. So I actually have all the paperwork on that. If any of you guys vlog, I have the paperwork on that. If you need it, let me know and I can try to send it to you. Okay, and it has all that information. So and it's pretty interesting. It's not that hard to become legal. It's pretty easy. Big Hungry says, because you're a realist, some may be afraid. I don't know about that. I think some people here, I don't know. I don't get what their game is. There's a lot of people out there that will attack you even if you're doing the right thing. I mean, I knew from the beginning that if I started the channel and I started doing Patreon and all that stuff, that the channel would start getting attacked right away. So that was one thing I said, no, I'm not going to do. I knew that if I did the super chats, that would be another thing that I would get hit for, because then they say you're begging. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to live right off the ads, and that's it. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't think that's asking too much. It's really not. Because all you have to do is watch the ads. If they don't want to watch the ads, they don't have to watch the ads. We have a lot of people that do watch the ads, and I'm very thankful for that, Michael L. says, also, if you give real info, that helps people and have no Patreon, PayPal, bachelor course, etc. You are the real McCoy. We try to, Michael. We really try to stick to that. We don't make a killing here, but I'm happy with what I have. I get more than enough money from my pensions and stuff like that. I work too many years for those pensions, and I'm happy that I have them. But also I'll get Social Security eventually too. So and I'll get some dividends later on. When I get around 68, I'll get anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 in dividends, on top of the money that I'll get from Social Security, plus the money from the school department and stuff. So I'll be doing pretty good. And then I don't think I'll have my vlog by then. I just don't think I'm going to do it forever. But I might do it. Maybe I will do it forever, and I'll just do it like twice a week or something at some point. It is a lot of work. People think it's not a lot of work. You put in a good day's work answering people. Trust me. Let's see. Scott says, do you work out at the gym? There's a gym right around the corner, and I used to go over there, and I do more like walking. I'm really into walking. I really love walking, and I go to the park to do my walking. You guys see me do the videos from over there while I'm doing the walking. I do the vlog sometimes, and we have a place right down the street here. I'm hoping they have a pool there soon. I would love to see them put a pool in there. Then I'd be over the gym all the time. But sometimes I do go over there. Yes, But every day I do the walking because it helps with my sciatica. If anything helps your sciatica, it's walking. Trust me. And then probably about 4 hours after, it starts coming back a little bit. But it gives me a lot of relief, because I have to take tramadol to go walking. That's how bad my sciatica is in the morning. Okay, so I have a hard time walking until the tramadol kicks in. But then after, when the tramadol starts to wear off, and I've already done the walk, then it frees it up for a while. The muscles kind of relax. So I found that to help me a lot. It's not 100%, but it does help me. Red Ranger says, passport ID, is that the card versus the book? Yeah, it's the card. It's good for Mexico and Canada, but you can use it here if you lose your passport or something like that to get into the embassy. And you can use it to get a new passport. Let's see, Big Hungry, good person. Thank you, Big Hungry. Craig Jordan, has anybody on here visited the island province of Marinduque? Let's see. What are your first thoughts? I'm not that familiar with that place now. Ricky G, hello. Eddie, Steve, do you carry a senior citizen card that avails you of a 35% discount for dining? You know something, Eddie? That's just for Filipino citizens according to the law. I've actually read the law. But if you have the SRRV visa, which is a retirement visa, and you're I think it's over 60 or over 65, they'll even take it for younger than that. If you just ask them if they do a retired discount, and you give them that card, they just write down the information and they give you the discount. So it's on them, because I asked the PRA about that, and one of the ladies at the PRA told me, and this is while I was sitting there waiting, that about that. She said, If they take it and they accept it, then it's on them, not on you. So you can use that. And some of these restaurants themselves, like some McDonald's and some Burger Kings and stuff like that, will give you the discount, anyway, because that's their policy. It's like a world policy or something like that. So you can get that discount in some places, but it's not available everywhere. So be careful about going to get a senior citizen card here in the Philippines. Some people will tell you, oh yeah, you can get it, and some places will give it to you, but you're really not supposed to have that. So be careful about that, okay? Because that's not, people aren't so sure about that. Some of the laws are kind of funky here in the Philippines, so just be careful. I would not toy with that because you can get fined and get in trouble. Let's see. Delaware, sir, if I let my U.S. license expire, it took 3 months and 15,000 pesos to get my Filipino license. It can get expensive, man. Big hungry. Also, scan your last year's tax stuff and all documents you may need for future. Scan and save everything to an email account. Yeah, I took all my stuff with me, Big Hungry. I have everything, and I have a girl in charge of everything back home who's my power of attorney. And that kind of helps you. Having a power of attorney back home that can do anything, and you make sure you register her with your bank too, so she can do anything in the bank. Make sure they get a copy of your power of attorney for her. So when you do your power of attorney, have like about 5 of them made up. One for you, one for the power of attorney, one for the bank, and any other organization that's going to need it, any other bank or insurance company, things like that. Just make sure that everything's good. See, Michael L says the vaccine is like armor in a sword fight. It is not 100% protection, however, it's better than nothing. Let's see. Amphib Av says, I have turned 50. Have you turned 59 yet? Am I older than you? I am 58. Jeff Poy's Adventures. Hello, Steve from Texas, brother Steve. Stay safe and healthy, my friend. Thanks, Jeff Poy. Let's see. Roger Hardman says, hey, Steve, I retired from the U.S. Army. Is there any way medical support around you, a VA center or clinic? Yes, up in Manila, we have the VA clinic, but it's only for service connections, Roger, okay? So just FYI. So if you're not service connected, they will not treat you like they do at regular VAs. It's a totally different ball game here in Manila, okay? Just FYI. They'll treat you for the common cold or minor things sometimes when you go in, but it's not like you think, okay? Because it's a clinic, okay? Let's see. Scott, John Wales, it's 3 months. I thought it's possible to just pay someone to get it. Let's see. Mark Gomez, how late are you going to blog? We will probably go for at least another half an hour, okay? I would say another half an hour probably, Mark. See, John Wales, Scott, I won't support fixers, but if I did, it would have only cost me 6,000 pesos and no wait time. Let's see. Craig Jordan, what is the minimum age of seniors in the Philippines? I'm not sure. I think it's 65 or 6. I think it could be 60. I think it's 60, but I'm not sure. I never really checked into that because I'm not a senior yet. I know for sure that. But, they will take your SRV retirement card at some of these places and give you a discount. Because I asked one of my friends, she works at one of the restaurants here, and she says that the corporation will take it. So I was like, okay, all right, that works for me. So sometimes you just have to ask and check. Eddie said John was illegal. What? I used mine when I was out there last time, no problems. The card itself enumerates all the discount that the holder is entitled to. Are we talking the same card? When I was out there. We might be, Eddie, I think if you're talking about a senior citizen card, okay, and you got one, and you're not saying if you're Filipino or not. I would suspect that you're not. I would suspect you're probably an expat. You're really not. It's supposedly illegal, okay, because it's according to the law, and some people posted the law numerous times online, and it does say Philippine citizens. So that's where it breaks off, right there. So be careful of that, okay? Because some barangays are handing those out, and I'm hearing that they're not supposed to because they don't know the law, okay? KM, I went for a bike ride in North Carolina, and the strip mall nearby had 5 out of 25 stores closed. Unheard of before the pandemic. So what are you seeing in the Philippines is playing out everywhere? We were just talking about this the other day, and I think we talked about it in one of the vlogs also, is that the mall here, they've closed down Bonchon, Fries and More, Dickies, a whole bunch of stores upstairs have closed down, tons of them, and there's more closing every day. Um, and they're talking possibly about some other restaurants there. I've asked some of the other restaurants there if they're going to close, and they said probably. They says it's getting really bad. They can't stay open. And with this new thing going on, it's only takeout. You can't even sit there and eat, unless it's al fresco. So they're killing these places. They're killing them. Let's see. Eddie says, John Wales, unless there is a rule that expats are not allowed to avail of discounts, I don't know. That's what I heard, Eddie. I'm just telling you what I heard, okay? I'm not really that up on that because I read the law, I read what it says, so I just stay away from that. You know what I mean? You got to be really careful. If they give it to you with an SRV card, when you flash that, that's on the store then. It's not on you any longer. If you ask them if they give an SRV discount, because some stores do honor the PRA, they give a PRA discount. Okay, so just be aware of that. And actually, the PRA tells you about that. They have places that give you a discount. In fact, Phil Health, you get a 5% discount with the PRA card, with the SRV card. So they do get discounts for that. So just FYI, a lot of people don't know that. USA to Philippine Life. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. How's things going there? We are just reading. They're relaxing the lockdown there a bit. I haven't read that. Because they just kept it going all the way till September. I don't know what's going to happen in September. I'm here. My daughter here was telling me that the school, she was supposed to be going back to school, and now they're saying maybe November. So I don't think that that's going to be relaxing. If anything, it's getting worse because they just said in the news today, they're expecting 20,000 people a day to be getting COVID each day. So I think that the lockdown is going to continue at the current rate or get worse. So we may see a lot more closings if they keep on doing things the way they do it. I would hope that they would kind of like calm down a little bit because I know people are passing away, but we're going to see starvation soon here in some places. We're going to see it for sure. Lee and Blair, the national ID card is open to foreigners, permanent residents, but must be renewed yearly, not ACR card. You're talking about the national ID card. That's something different. I didn't think that was open to foreigners, but maybe it is. I don't know that much about the national ID thing right now. I know that they used to have the postal ID, which I think we could apply for, but maybe I haven't looked into the national ID. I don't know that much about it. That's something that's kind of new around here that people are talking about, but it's not something that's really needed. We have enough IDs already with all the stuff that, like I tell you about, like the passport ID, and then I have my license and stuff like that. So you really don't need all this stuff, some stuff. Let's see. John Wales says, Eddie, Google it. It is only for Filipino citizens. That's what I thought. If you get turned in, you'll get 500,000 peso fine, 6 months in jail. That's what I thought. So I was right then. I don't think you can get that national ID card. And I know, I'm almost sure you can't get that senior citizens discount. It's not cool. They don't like that. Brooke Snyder's, yes, some business owners can partial open now. Is that what you're hearing in Cavite, Brooke? Because I haven't heard that here yet. Because we went from one modified ECQ right into another. So some businesses are partially open, but as far as like you're talking about like Dickies and stuff like that, but nobody's going to the malls, so it still kills them. You know what I mean? And the restaurants are only partially open for takeout or al fresco, and nobody's doing the al fresco because nobody wants to go sit outside in the hot weather. So nobody's doing it, So John Wales says, you are correct, Steve, on the senior discount card. Yeah, that's what I thought, But you can use the SRV, and you can go onto their site, and you can see all the places that do give discounts. But there are more people than what are listed on there. And if they give it to you, then you're good. But yeah, with senior citizens, no, you can't get a senior citizen discount. Let's see. Eddie says, John Wales, okay, makes sense. Message from Daniel. Dear Sir Steve, are you not a resident of the Philippines? I believe so. Or am I wrong? Special resident retirees. Yeah, I am. They don't call it a permanent resident. They call it something else. I forget what they call it, but it's not called a permanent resident. Like a lot of people think, oh, he's a permanent resident. It's not called that. I'm a resident of the Philippines. Yes, correct. But I forget what they call it. Tom Pear, John Wales, my reason for wanting the IDP for travel to PI to Thailand is, and going through road checks in Thailand. It's supposed to be with a valid USA license. There we go. Amphib Av, gotcha. I was 58 yesterday. Okay. See, Edwin Mejia, 60 years senior. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought because we're 65 in the U.S. and some restaurants will let you start giving you the senior citizen discount in the U.S. at 55, according to AARP. Tom Pierce says, "Hey, you must have your headphones and not the wife's today. Better put your name on that set." Yeah, and yeah, they all get mixed up around here. Let's see. Bullish old pal, do you accept Bitcoin or cryptocurrency as a form of payment yet? In the Philippines, I don't know any place that accept that. They have all kinds of fintech here, though, like PayMaya, things like that. They have all different types of stuff. And it's funny because I went in to buy a necklace the other day, a silver necklace. It was like about $200, okay? And I went to pay for it with a credit card, and the lady says, "Sir, we don't accept credit cards." And I says, "Well, what do you accept?" And she named off all this stuff. And it was all fintech, like PayMaya, Gcash, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't have any of that, so I can't use it. So I'm like, it looks like I'm not going to buy it then. And she just kind of looked at me like, I says, "Yeah, I'm not going to buy it. If you don't take credit cards, I mean, why am I going to? That's what I can pay with." So, and I was going to pay it off at the end of the month, but she wouldn't take it. Let's see, we're up to 119 people and 66 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Ryan Roberts says, "Can I say happy birthday to my beautiful fiance Marichu in Davao City? Happy birthday." Steele, senior ID in Barangay, yes, but for Pinoy. Yeah, that's right. But some places are giving it out to Americans, and they shouldn't be doing that. And that's happening. I've met people up at the VA bragging about how they got a senior citizen discount card, and they pull it out and show me. And I'm like, "You're not supposed to have that." And they say, "Well, as long as I have it, it's on them, isn't it?" I says, I'd be a little bit worried about that one, because I don't think that's legal, and it's not. James Corlew, Roger Hardman, TRICARE is also accepted in a lot of places in the PI. Yes, it is. There's certain hospitals. There's a few hospitals. It's not in a lot of places. Okay, it's accepted in some places. Okay. Bullish Old Pal says, how is it to buy or sell on eBay or Amazon? There is a Philippines eBay here. You can become an international seller, but shipping is slow as can be here. I've had stuff shipped in here from other countries, from France. I ordered a couple things from France. It took over 3 months. They ended up refunding my money because when you hit the 90-day mark, if you haven't received it by then, you can get a full refund. And about 3 days after the 90 days hit, I got the packages, and then I contacted them back. "Do you want me to send you the money?" And they says, "No, it's okay. Don't worry about it." So I was like, okay. And I just thanked them. I thought that was really nice that they did that, too. It was actually the same person, too. Big Hungry, if you are a combat vet, you should already be in the VA system. If not, you need to get on. I assume you already checked with your local OIF, OEF team. I retired from the VA, so I know. But remember, it's just service connections here, okay? Just FYI. So, John, reserve judgment on divorce here. Family home and automatic inheritance will dissolve, destroying family cohesion. JFK, quote, avoid judging others by your own culture or something similar to this. I guess he's talking about the thing the vlog I did about divorce, that they're going to start allowing divorce here. There's a lot of women here that live in poverty because they can't get into another relationship, okay, because they're married, so they can't move on and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of unfair to those women. You can get the annulment, but it's very expensive, and they just can't afford it. I know there's people out there that are against divorce, but I really don't understand why you would be against it, because there's a lot of women over here, they just can't afford to get that annulment. It costs about $4,000 in some cases. Let's see, Steele says 18.17% fully vaxxed now. There we go. I didn't hear that much. Could be 50 to 60% by Christmas. That'd be good news. That's actually moving faster than what I thought. I heard 13% the other day. I'm not sure. I know Manila's almost fully vaxxed now. Not fully vaxxed, but over 50% I heard in some spots. That's what I heard. I haven't verified that yet. I'd have to look it up and see which areas are hotter than others. I heard there was like 13 areas that are almost up to 50%. So that's pretty good. See, Eddie says, thanks, Steve and John Wales. Good info on the senior card. Oops. Now I know. Yeah, don't play with that. I did a video today about that, about people doing things right. Always do things right in the Philippines, because it's going to turn around and bite you right in the butt. And you just don't need that. You just don't want to get in trouble. You get in trouble over here, man. It's hard to get out of that. See, bullish old pal says, I'm Floyd. I don't know what he's saying. We don't have lockdowns or mask mandates. I think I'll stay put in the free territory. Yeah, you're best to stay in the U.S. right now than over here, because right now you don't want to play over here. Even if they opened the doors and had a green lane, I would tell people to stay home. Let's see. John Wales says, Steve, I have a postal ID. It cost me 600 pesos. Yeah, I was thinking about getting one of those too, but then I already have the SRRV card. I got the driver's license. I don't need to be walking around with a fistful of cards. I mean, I got a fistful of cards already. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about that, but then they get the national ID and all this stuff, and it's like, nah, I don't think so. I'm good. But the national ID, I'm not sure. I don't think we can apply for that either. Some people are saying yes, but I don't think so. I haven't looked into that fully. I'm gonna have to look into that more. Scott says, the worse the economy is doing, the better odds the monster Duterte will be voted out. Well, I mean, I don't like to get into politics and touch on that, because we're not supposed to get involved in the politics. I could comment on that one all day, trust me, and I'd like to, but I stay away from that. Francisco Fletes says, hello, just joining, what's up? This is the usual. We got the usual amount of usual people on here, Francisco. Good people. We got a good show going tonight. We're probably going to be on for another 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. Let's see. Francisco Fletes says, you're a special resident. Let's see. Yes, something like that. It's not a permanent resident. It's like a special resident or something like that. I don't know what they call it. Smoky Mountain Modeler, what is your opinion on bringing cash with you coming to the PI? I was thinking of bringing enough for a couple months living expenses and rent set up in deposits. Yeah, I mean, you know what I did? This is what I did. I brought some cash with me that I transferred over into pesos, okay, and I did that. Then when I got here, I had my ATM card and stuff like that rated as, and I could also send money to my girlfriend. And I did it all that way. I paid my rent up in advance and stuff like that, and I bought my refrigerators and ACs and all that stuff. And usually I just used my ATM card like a credit card. So it ended up working out pretty good. Bullish Old Pal says, do you know Sunshine Shoulders? I know of him, but I don't know him personally, okay? So I really don't watch that too many other shows. I've watched him maybe once, and it was because somebody said that somebody was saying something on there about me, so I went and I watched it, and I didn't see anything on there, so it was just, I don't watch other vloggers. I just don't, I try not to get involved in all the stuff that goes on. You know what I mean? I don't agree with some of the pages, the way they handle themselves on there. I used to watch some of them, and I never really liked the way some of the pages were done. And I'm not talking just about Sunshine Shoulders. I'm talking about all in general. There are some good vloggers out there. So don't get me wrong, because there really are some good vloggers out there. And I just run my page different. I run it the way I want to run it. I don't worry about anybody else. I don't get involved in there, in all that gossip and stuff like that, and the troll stuff. So I'm done with that, Liam Blair says, Sage Report. If the virus does mutate to a less lethal form, such mutations may occur over a period of many years to many decades. They believe it will mutate much worse before it gets better. I don't know. I mean, I'm so tired of talking about COVID. I think everybody is. Let's see. John Wales, Eddie, no problem. We are all here to share knowledge. KM, are the churches still open and meetings still being held? Yes. Yes, my church is still open. I haven't been there because of all this stuff. I'm just waiting it out. I wish I would go to church. Even though I got the shot, I'm just kind of staying on my own and letting this stuff all ride by, this Delta variant and all this stuff. So I kind of stay home. I go out and do my walks. Once in a while, I'll go out with the family and do a ride or something, and to take you guys on like a little tour someplace or whatever. Other than that, we don't do that much. I mean, you've seen we went up to Manila there a while back, things like that. And we went up when I'm up there, I try to stay away from people as much as I can, like far away from. We do our walks, you know. See, Jim and Rose's adventure in Manila, Philippines. No churches are open around me. Yeah, it depends where you are. We have churches open here. They were actually having meetings this week, so I thought that was kind of interesting. But they're all separated by 3 to 6 feet, so it's not fun, you know. Lazy Larry, if you're going to make money, make sure you have the right visa. Yes, absolutely. You know, you can't come over here and work on a tourist visa, you know. I'm not sure about that vlogger thing, though. That vlogger thing, there's world travelers that vlog, so that's kind of a tough situation, you know what I mean? I'm not sure they can go after some of those people if they're on a tourist visa, because they actually owe their taxes to the U.S., you know, especially if they're registered there. But I'm not totally sure how that all works. You're talking about international law now, so it's a whole different world, you know. But you need to be registered. You know, if you're an SRV holder, it gives you the right to work here, but you still got to register and do certain things. So just be aware of that, you know. The best visa to come in here is the SRV visa. That's the best one. So tourist visas, after a while, they kick you out. If after 36 months, and if the place is closed and they won't let you in because of all the stuff that's currently going on, then you're kind of doomed, you know. Let's see. Big Hungry says, TRICARE overseas. Just Google where you are at on the TRICARE website, and it'll give you a list of providers you can see and be covered under. Yeah. I don't have TRICARE. I have Pacific Cross over here. Francisco Fletes says 44% in NCR. I think it's higher than that in some. Yeah, in NCR it's probably 44% in total. You're probably right, Francisco. But there are some places that are over 50%. You know, I'm not sure which areas, but I heard there's like maybe as high as 13 areas that around the NCR region that are over 50%. So that's pretty good. That makes you feel pretty safe about going up into Manila more. You know, so that's good. Jay says, good morning from California. Good morning, Jay. Big Hungry. Rule number 1 in life, do not get in trouble. Exactly. Let's see. We got 122 people, 77 thumbs up. Guys, I want to remind you guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, okay? Just make sure you check to make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because we have a lot of people that aren't subscribed that watch. Just hit that subscribe button if you can. You know, that helps us with the numbers and stuff like that. Let's see. Roger Hartman says, thanks, James Corley and Big Hungry, for the info. And always thanks to you, Steve. Thanks, Roger. Eddie says, only rich can get annulments. Yeah, that's why the divorce thing really might be a big help. It's going to be a lot cheaper. Very expensive for the ordinary person. It's about $4,000 US. Poor people will have to suffer while the rich man can just buy their way out of a marriage. I agree. It's kind of sad, actually. That was a leftover of the Catholic Church, and that's why, you know, I think it should be just kind of taken away, because you know, these women need to be able to move on, you know, and it's hard because you're causing people to live in sin then if you're religious, you know what I'm saying, and that's what it's causing, you know, people that are married or living with people that aren't married, and their husband or wife is doing the same thing, so it's kind of a mess, you know. And people need to have that freedom to move on, you know. I mean, unless they want to make annulments easier, which would be even better than having the divorce, I suppose, because then it would be like you were never married. I'd be okay with that, but, you know, I think the divorce law might go through this time, though. That's what I'm hearing. Big Hungry says, more cards mean more options for worst-case scenarios. Assume and plan for the worst-case scenarios. Cover your ass. You know, Big Hungry, I got so many cards right now. You couldn't possibly even fathom that kind of a worst case scenario. I got a ton of cards. I'm pretty much covered on that, you know, but I understand where you're coming from. I'm kind of the same mentality, but I got enough cards already. I don't need more. And we're going to have to get some more cards now because of the vaccinations. I'm going to look up this thing that they've been talking about and see if I can do a video on it soon. But pretty soon, yeah, they're talking about another card. Red Ranger, let's see. Let me see here. I just lost. My thing just popped up and went all the way up. Let's see. Fistful of cards. Let's see. Hold on a second, guys. My thing just popped all the way up to the top, so I lost it. Let's see. Here we go. Steve, I got a fistful of cards, John Whale says. I'm kind of the same way. I got a lot of cards too, but I don't know how many more I'm going to get, you know. It gets a little, not expensive, but it just gets to be a pain. Big hungry, more cards mean more options. Let's see, we read that one already. Duterte will not be able to run for president again for his 6 years are up in March 2021. So who knows who is next? Hopefully, next president will open the Philippines. John Wales says, "Please, no politics. We are guests here. If we don't like the politics here, we are free to leave." Yeah, we try to keep politics off here. You know, we just try to. I know sometimes we talk about American politics occasionally, but when it comes to Philippine politics and stuff like that, I try to keep politics off here as much as I can. I know sometimes it's hard to not comment on politics because it's part of the news, you know, but we try to keep it off there. Michael L says, "Steve, thank you for being a drama-free channel." Yeah, we try to keep it that way, you know. If you guys would be surprised lately, this past 2 weeks we've been getting attacked by the trolls, and we've kicked off probably about 26 people, 26 or 27, I think, at last count. Let's see. Scott says, "John Wales, we don't care about the politics in the Philippines. We only care about opening the borders." Yeah. Denise Antonio, John Wales, 100% with you. Francisco Fletes says, "Message retracted." Red Ranger Scott says, "You are right. We pull that stunt and try to be vice president. Hopefully, they will get a new president with no ties to Duterte." Scott, the reason, I don't know if you guys know this, and I'm not really talking about politics, but this is in the news. It's kind of politics, but the reason why Duterte is running for vice president because the world court's going after him for the drug things. But that's what they said. I don't know too much about that, but that's why he's running, because if he makes it into the vice presidency, then they can't go after him. So let's see. John Wales. Let's see. Jay, what will you do if your 3 years come up and once you leave the country, entry is closed? Well, that's happened to a lot of people right now, Jay. It's happened to a lot of people right now. They can't come back right now. Unless you have an SRRV card, then you can come, you know. But even they were held up for a little bit, you know. Tom Pierce says, "I think the hardest thing for me is negotiating prices without having a girlfriend. I like my freedom, but I get stuck with higher prices." You know, the amount that they charge for like the higher prices when you're buying small items, it's still fairly cheap. I have no problem paying that, Tom. You know, in most cases. But I hear you on that one. Let me see. Scott says, "Open-minded, sophisticated people can intelligently talk politics. Dimwits fight and take sides." Yeah, but you know something, Scott? When you invite that on your page, it just turns into a big mess. You know, it really does. You know, Liam Blair, permanent residents with young kids here should worry about politics here. We live here. My kids' future is at stake. I agree. You know, but you don't want to talk about it on a channel, on a vlog. But yeah, you should worry about it. I keep track of it, don't get me wrong. You know, I do keep track of it, but we don't talk about it, you know, very much anyway. I mean, we talk about a little, or kind of like, you know, keep it really slow, quick, fast, just get by it, you know. See, Michael L., I have heard that what some are upset about is the web bloggers claiming they are a charity without being registered as one. Well, you know, Michael, we have that guy, Terrence and Beth, and they're all registered. But somebody said the other day, and it was some vlogger who posted it, said that it's illegal to videotape giving money to the poor or something in the Philippines. And I haven't ever verified that. I just don't show it. You know what I mean? Like when we're walking around in Manila sometimes, when we walk by people, I have a friend of mine walking behind me, and I don't like to videotape myself giving money to people. I just don't. It feels very kind of demeaning to me. You know what I mean? And to the people that you're doing it to, too. I think it's just it's demeaning to me in that, you know, I feel kind of sad that, I'm making money off these people, by showing them, and like, I mean, when you walk in the streets of Manila, you're going to pick up those people anyway. But when you show yourself giving money to these people, it just, I don't know, it just feels wrong, That's just me. Let's see. Scott says, another dump in gold is expected, I've read. I'll be buying. I heard that. Man, gold, I was looking at the other day, what they expected to do by 2030, and they said $8,000. That's what they said, Scott. You can look it up online. Gold future prices, and one of the things says I think it's supposed to be like 3,000 or 4,000 next year, something like that. 3,000 or 4,000 within the next 2 years. Red Ranger, John Wales, I'm in the USA. We have free speech, and we can talk about politics in the USA or Philippine or Russia. I'm not sure about the Philippines or Russia, though. Once you leave the country, you leave behind a lot of your freedoms. Scott, I'm surprised the wealthy corporations aren't pushing to open the country. Let's see. Me too. Because a lot of these corporations are taking a big hit and they're closing. But it's just hard dealing with the government, to complain with the government, because I think a lot of them don't listen to you here. It's deaf ears. John Wales, J-Mine tourist visa is up at the end of March. We will see what happens. Maybe by March that'll be fixed. Let's hope. Let's hope, John. Patriot Pirate, do you have to be there or had been there before to start the SRV? You have to be here to finish it. Okay? I've never been to PH. Can I apply? Patriot Pirate, there's a program right now, and you can contact me at Steven5975, Steven is with a V, at yahoo.com, okay? And ask me for my phone number. We can talk about it, and I'll tell you what's going on with everything, okay? It's kind of a long process, so to go over it on here would be kind of boring for the other people. So I rather just, the SRV process has some changes right now, and we can talk about it. And I can set you up with the lady's name and all that, and she'll explain everything to you. She's really, really good, okay? But Steven5975 at yahoo.com, okay? Bill T says, if you are a Muslim, divorce is legal in the Philippines. Yes, it is. Red Ranger says, are pretty girls in the Philippines still missing me since I haven't been able to visit in the last couple of years? Yeah, they've been talking about you, Red Ranger. They say they still miss you, okay? All right. Michael L. However, I am also concerned about some setting themselves up as self-appointed inquisitors. They may be right about the e-beggars. However, after they are gone, who will be the next target? I kind of, yeah. I mean, people around here, they attack people for nothing, and it's just for the sake of attacking people sometimes. And that's why I try not to get involved in that too much. I mean, sometimes I talk a little bit about it, but I don't mention the vloggers' names usually. These people will attack anybody. I mean, I've been attacked on here, and I leave people alone. I'm on here just to help people, you know what I mean? And I'm not begging for any money, and I mean, you guys know that. I don't ask for a damn nickel, and I won't accept a nickel, I mean, the only money I ever took, somebody asked me if I could pass it on. They asked me if I could pass on $20, and I haven't been able to pass it on, but I am going to pass it on to the charity that they want to pass it on to the Mother Teresa charity. I told them I would pass it on to them, and I will. We just haven't had the time to go over there yet. We're waiting for all this stuff to get over because we want to go over there and feed the kids over there. But I mean, I'm not going to videotape it, you know what I mean? I mean, some of these people, like, they want to videotape everything that they do, and some things I think, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm not really super religious, but, like, I believe in, like, storing up your treasures. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. Store up your treasures up there, not here, if you're going to do something, don't do it in front of people, because then you're going to have all these people saying, oh, wow, that's really great that you do that and stuff like that. I mean, I tell people some of the ventures that I do sometimes, just to get other people to kind of think about what they can do over here to help other people. But no, I don't show people. I don't think that that's right, Let's see. Red Ranger, we are free. John Wales says, Red Ranger, we are free to leave the Philippines if we don't like the rules here. That's right. Scott says, by definition, the mRNA is not a vaccine. Okay. Craig Jordan, Steve, does your future plans to stay in Tracy Martinez get altered with the business closures at the mall? Yes. Yes, it could. but I'm going to wait it out to see what happens. I'm hoping not much else changes. We're still in a good place here to get rides and stuff like that, but I would wait to see what's going to happen. Maybe those will reopen under some other store or something like that. Maybe they'll get some other Western places in here or something. Like maybe they'll get a, a Subway or something like that in here, which would be great for me, but I have my doubts. Let's see. Sinful says the House panel did approve absolute divorce, so that's good news. Let's see. Scott, John Wales, free to leave. We are just trying to get in, John. Yeah, there we go. John Wales, Red Ranger, they surely miss you, but I do my best to comfort them. There we go. Let's see. Michael L. says, Red Ranger, we can talk about U.S. politics anywhere since we are U.S. citizens. However, we are guests in the Philippines and should refrain from their politics. That's the thing. You can talk about U.S. politics all you want over here. But even that, I try to stay off a little bit on here. We talk about it, because I'm from the U.S. and sometimes the politics does affect us over here, and we have to talk about it, But and it can be difficult, It's like walking a tightrope, because no matter what you say, you're going to piss people off, And some days I lose a few people, and I'm okay with that, It's part of being a vlogger, unfortunately, So, and that goes both ways. I have a lot of people on here that like watching me. They're both Democrats and Republicans, and some of them are my friends, and we get along fine, because they know where I'm coming from, and they know that I'm different than them, and we accept each other for who we are. And that's the way it should be in the world, instead of I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat and I hate you, you know what I mean? And that's the problem in the world, and that's why it's hard. I try to have this policy on here about politics. Roger and Big Hungry, when you turn 65 and living overseas, TRICARE remains your primary insurance as Medicaid is not accepted overseas. Medicaid, they do have something that works over here, supposedly. Grandpa Vlogger talked about it a little bit, but I didn't really watch that, so I don't know that much about it. But that's why I think they need portability. We did that video, and there is an organization run by, it's by a bunch of Filipino nurses, I think, started it. They're trying to get portability, for expats and for Filipinos, Let's see. Scott says, World Court, wow, that's big. Yeah, that's a known fact. That's why he's trying to do that. I don't know, that was in the news. So you might want to do some more info searches on that on Google or something like that. But that's what I heard. I had like about 4 or 5 people tell me that, and I think I read it somewhere too. Manny wins tonight. Come on, Manny. There we go. So, Liam Blair, we are good vloggers. That's good, Liam Blair. I haven't been to your channel. Maybe I'll check it out sometimes. Usually I'll do one check on a channel or something like that. You can always throw up a link if you want. If you want to throw a link in my thing, just right on there. Steve said I can throw this link out there, and then put it up. Okay, feel free to do that. Let me see here. It just all popped up again. So now I got to go back. Let's see. There we go. I'm back. Okay, Mark T says, what is the SRV renewal fee for non-veterans? I pay $10, and I think they pay $360. I could be wrong. I think it's about $360. But you have a lot of benefits on that. You also can go places with the PRA when they go on trips and stuff like that, and they have dinners and things like that. There's a lot more to it than what people think. Plus, you can get the PhilHealth 5% cheaper and some other stuff. But I'm not that familiar with that because I work more with the military visas, Mark. But I think it's about $360, okay? So, Patriot Pirates has heard that the VA and PH does cover 100% PNT SC vets for anything. Do you know, or can you check and find out? No, it's just service connections. I had somebody else talk to me about this before, Patriot Pirate, and I asked my doctor, and she works at the VA, that's her job, and she says, no, it's just service connections. It's totally service connections. So, yeah, even if they're 100%, it's not true. Scott, John Wales tried to do ski-doo from the southern tip of Taiwan. Wear sunglasses so the Coast Guard does recognize you. There we go. Actually, Taiwan's not that far from Batanes, the islands up there, the island chain. You can actually see Taiwan at night from the uppermost Batanes Island in the Philippines. They say you can see the lights at night. That's kind of interesting. So Taiwan's pretty close to the Philippines. Darrow Bruno, you could probably actually take a ski-doo. Maybe if you had an extra tank of gas or something, you could probably make it. Darrow Bruno, how much is China in the news? It's not in the news so much. It's more on YouTube type channels, but it does pop up on the news on occasion. We do see some news here. I see a lot of it because I follow a lot of different YouTube vlogs and stuff like that about China. So, John Wills, Tom Perry, I have learned the prices and will call the locals if they try to overcharge me. I will walk away if need be. Let's see. KM says one of the main attractions in the Philippines is getting an hour massage for under $10. Are all of the places there closed? Most of them are closed right now. Yeah, because of the modified ECQ massage parlors are usually the first to go down. An hour for under $10, that's pretty easy. You know, I mean, right down the street here for 500 pesos for $10. Let's see, you can get a 2-hour massage here. So, you know, that's not an issue around here. And you can get the blind massages at the mall too. They have blind people that give you back massages and stuff like that. They do a really good job too, and it keeps them making money. Francisco Fletes says, I don't think Delta will be overtaken by other variants. As an immunologist, Delta is very effective. R of 9. When we beat Delta, we should be okay. This variant is the worst it'll get. Trust me. Let's hope so, man. I hope so. Let's see, we're up to 123. We got 94 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Eddie says, Steve, does your children attend public or private school? How expensive are private schools? My daughter went to a private school first. She went to a private high school, and it was very reasonable, okay? And then she's going to college right now, and my little boy, he goes to a regular public school here. He's not so good with school. He hates school. He hates doing the work. He hates doing these modules, and he refuses to do them. He's given us a really, really hard time and a run for our money about doing those modules. He no way, no how will he do them. We have to actually have the teacher next door work with him a little bit, but that's working out okay. Tom Pear, do you let them take your forehead temperature when you go to the market? They actually do your arm most of the time, or your hand. They have a thing you put your hand in front of, and it does your temperature, because it erases your memory. I went for bread and came out with 2 cases of beer and said, haha, gotta go. See you later, Tom. Take care. Have a good night. Red Ranger, John Wales, I got them scattered from Manila to Cebu down to Davao. You're going to be busy. Let's see. Craig Jordan says, the foreign companies withdrawing from the Philippines speaks louder to a growing decline in investor confidence. Yes, definitely. And it's a lot of the Western companies that are pulling out of here because it's just not working out good. You know, Sinful says, Steve, Mary Rose replied to me and stated she is at sea. Yes, she is. So contact Miss Thelma. Yeah, she's out to sea. She pulls in and out. So just FYI. You know, she's on her vacation. She deserves one right now. You know, Scott says, Steve, what is your heritage? I'm guessing Norwegian. No, I'm Swedish and Irish. You know, I actually have a lot of family in Sweden, and we talk on occasion. Let's see. Eddie says, Craig Jordan, got examples of these companies leaving the Philippines? Let's see. Craig Jordan. Eddie, pay attention to what Steve has been saying about closures of Western businesses. There's a lot of Western businesses. I think Kenny Rogers is probably going to be one of them soon around here. I mean, they told me that they're probably going to be closing down if things don't pick up real soon. They had Bonchon, which is not Western, but Fries and More. I think some of the subways are closing down. The places up in Manila in the Conrad building are dead empty, and they're not quite closed, but they're like kind of just doing takeout stuff right now, and the orders are not that big, so I can see them closing. If you go to the Conrad building at the Mall of Asia, it's like a ghost town. Let's just put it that way. But a lot of the places, they're closing. They're closing. A lot of these places are not doing well. You know, we've seen a lot of Dickies. Dickies is closing here. There's a ton of places. I don't know the names of them because they close so fast that they box them all up and they enclose them up on the 3rd floor of Dasma. There's probably like about probably 20 stores up there closed. 15 to 20, somewhere around there. And downstairs, they're starting to close stores too. So it's happening. It's happening. Let's see, Red Ranger, have you ever eaten a Taco Bell in the Philippines? If so, is the taste how is the taste compared to the U.S. Taco Bell? Yes, in Alabang. And yes, they were good. I actually liked them. They tasted about the same, Red Ranger. I didn't see no difference. No difference at all. Taco Bell here is actually good. And right next door, they have a Dairy Queen, so you can go over there and get ice cream. Because all the ice cream places at the Dasma Mall, Baskin Robbins. Okay, you guys were just talking about like what's closing. Baskin Robbins over in Dasma only has 15 flavors, and they're supposed to have 31. They have one of their freezers shut down, one's open. I keep asking the guy when he's closed, and he says they're not closed. And I says, well, you're serving. He has like 7 flavors that are chocolate or types of chocolate ice cream, and then all the rest are like sherbets. And he has no vanilla, no strawberry, and the chocolates that he have is like not regular chocolate ice cream. It's like got stuff mixed into it. So you can't have like a chocolate shake if you want a chocolate shake. You can't have a vanilla shake, and you can't have a strawberry shake. So I asked them about, if you ask them if you want a sundae, they have no whipped cream. If you ask them for a hot fudge sundae, they have no hot fudge. They just keep going on and on, like you keep on ordering stuff. And I'm like, well, what do you serve? I says, you don't make a sundae with sherbet, and chocolate is only good if you like chocolate that much. So. I mean, that's the way it's working. He keeps saying it's not going to close down. I can tell you right now, it's probably going to close. I mean, I'm guessing, of course, but from the way that place is managed, it's going to close down. He's not making enough money to pay for the people there. I see people walk up looking at the ice cream and then walk away. And I've been there for like 4 or 5 times now. It used to be my favorite place. I used to like to go there to get a frap. No longer, Let's see, Steele says, sign up for the PRA online. They send updates and answer questions. Once you sign up with the PRA, Steele, is a problem, okay? That you can no longer use an agent. And the agents are free if you use certain agents. My agent is one of the free agents that gets paid through the application fee. So just FYI about that. If you sign up with the PRA, then you're stuck with the PRA. If you call them and they take your name down and they put you in the book, because then they become your agent kind of, and they won't go around and ride around with you in Manila. So just be careful about that. If you have any questions about the PRA, talk to me, please. Because you don't want to do the wrong thing with them, because these agents are very helpful in helping you. Okay, but don't use a paid agent. Use one of the agents that I recommend. And the agent that I have, she has other agents that work underneath her. So just FYI. Let's see. Steele, sir, what do you think about buying hospital stocks to get service and not die in the parking lot? I don't know. I'm not sure what you're trying to talk about that. Sperlin Edwards, hey, big guy from Connecticut. But Steele, not to let that question go. But I'm not sure what you're trying to talk about. Steele says, don't do private massage. Yeah, just go to the place and get it done. You can do private massage. They charge you like $700 to come out for an hour. It's ridiculous. Michael L. Are not of 9 that as contagious as chickenpox? Let's see. They're still talking about the COVID. John Wales says, Craig Jordan, only when I don't get drunk and kicked off. There we go. Amphib Ave. Good night, Steve. Good program and thanks. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. Rick's Destination Cebu. After watching all the headaches and trolls I see vloggers up with makes me happy. I'll leave it to you guys. You all put up with so much and help so many. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rick. There's a lot of headaches and trolls. There's a lot of headaches that you have, on these channels, and also the trolls are they're brutal sometimes, to be honest with you. See, Liam Blair, we have a lucky bamboo farm. We vlog. We don't take money. We have kids. I used to have red hair. Okay, now it's all gray. Let's see. KM, $5 an hour massage. You're killing me. If I were there during normal times, I'd be down there 3 times a week minimum. Yeah, it's pretty good. For $10 you can get a 2-hour massage, really good massage too, and it's like top notch. They give you the rocks on your back, or down your spine and stuff like that, and it relieves a lot of pain if you have sciatica and stuff like that. They do your legs, your feet, your hands. It's a good massage, you know. Lee and Blair, John, let's see, James Corlo, Steve, thanks for another great live vlog. Got to go back, pick up some groceries. God bless. Let's see, we're about time to get done here anyway, guys. Let's see, Francisco, I'll answer a couple more things and then we're going to end it here. Let's say, just heads up, Steve, seafood market near MOA called Dampo has live king crabs. That's amazing, man. Live king crabs. That's expensive, too. You know, you can get king crabs at S&R, too. You get them frozen, they're pre-cooked. You just got to thaw them out in the microwave or steam them, you know. Lazy Larry says, I had a dark red beer, but now it's white. Let's see, Jay, got to bounce. Thanks, Steve. I'm guessing that the Western businesses in the PH are franchises. Yes. And not wholly owned U.S. business, since 51 ownership needs to be Filipino. Yes, they're franchises. You're right, James. Liam Blair, let's see. Sperlin Edwards, there's a very big difference in the coffee taste at Dunkin' Donuts in the Philippines. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard it tastes the same by some people, and some people say it's a little bit different. You know, so I don't drink coffee, so, and I would never drink coffee in the Philippines about haven't heard about those cats that eat the coffee beans or something like that, and after they, you know, let loose, they pick them back up and they make coffee out of it, and it's expensive coffee too. It's like, no thanks, I'll pass on that. You know, I don't know what kind of cats they are, but they eat the coffee beans. Let's see, James Lonergan, Costco in countries like Japan are Costco. Costco in the Philippines is an S&R store due to the percentage of ownership. I'm wondering how S&R is doing. I would imagine they'd be doing great right now, but I think a lot of people probably aren't going up there because of the closings and not being able to travel everywhere. Let's see, Steele, I don't have a PR agent, but I get Facebook updates. Okay, Steele, just let me know if you need help. I'll help you. You know, I'll even give you my phone number if need be. Just email me, or you come on here on a Saturday night. I'll give you the information to get in touch with me again if you need it. Okay. See, and we're gonna shut this down, guys. We're up about 96 minutes here, so we're over tonight. We did good tonight. We have 105 people, 106 thumbs up, and I really want to thank you guys. You know, let's see, we'll answer one or two more. Dickie Spaz says, Jollibee in the States is nothing like it is in the penis. Let's see. Anders says, welcome to Sweden. Sinful says, when I am there, I get massaged almost each day. I'm tempted to do that too because of my back. Let's see. Liam Blair, I really like Steve's channel for the honest information. There is no ulterior motive. It's not about any money. That's why I follow you. We talk about current affairs. It's interesting. Thanks, Liam Blair. I really appreciate that. You know, it's good to be appreciated. We don't. People think like I make a killing. I mean, there's some months I do pretty well. During the fall, I do pretty good on the ads, and during the summer, we do really, really bad. Like around $600 a month or somewhere around there. So we do pretty good on some months, and other months we don't do that great. You know, so, but that's enough for me because I make my money off other things, and most of that money I give away. So, you know, I help all my neighbors and people like that need help, people I care about, you know. Sperlin Edwards says, I would like to see a chronological list of things you have to do while going through the SRIB. Sperlin, if you ever need to talk about that, you can call me up and we can chat about that more. Okay? And Smoky Mountain Model says, see you next week, Steve. Let's see. We're going to end this here, guys. A guy Sinful says civet cats. Yeah, those are the ones that eat the coffee beans and they resell them. And it says they feed coffee beans to civet cats, and then they extract the beans from their excretions. It's kind of gross, you know. Let's see. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching tonight, and make sure you're here make sure you're here next week at 10 p.m. Saturday. We'll do it again then. Every Saturday night we're going to try to be on here, guys. So just be aware of that. If I'm ever not on here, it's either because I'm sick or I'm late getting back from somewhere. So just be aware of that, and I'll be on the Saturday after, or maybe we'll make it up on the Sunday after. So just be aware of that, guys. If we're ever not here on a Saturday, I'll try to make it up on the Sunday night after. Or if I'm not on here. It could be because my internet's on the fritz or something like that. And that happens too occasionally here. But we've been pretty lucky. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.